Hey guys, what's up? It's Cole, and given how popular that Viper Kept Simple guide is, I'm gonna do a Pictomancer Kept Simple guide. So this is gonna be as bare bones as no frills as possible to get you up to speed as quick as possible. And so we are gonna be going into our basic 1-2-3 combo. Basically, it's just gonna be on the one button, and it's gonna oscillate through the skills. And so we just did one of those. You'll see that we got a charge, one white charge. This white charge is used to cast Holy in White. Holy in White is an on GCD spell. It's just great for mobility, and it does a little bit of damage. It is very nice. Now, the thing is, for our AoE, it is basically the same thing. And then, boom, we get that. So, we also get 25 of what I'm going to call Pride Gauge, because someone left a asshole comment, and so I'm going to call it the Pride Gauge throughout this entire video, and if you don't like that, And so, you see how that goes like that. So, you spend 50 Pride Gauge to go into Subtractive Palette mode, and then you can use your heavier hitting, longer cast time abilities, and voila. And you're going to see, hey, we have a dark charge here. Unfortunately, Holy in White is a separate keybind from Comet in Black. And so, is that a little annoying? Yes. Also, you need to go through the palette in order from quote-unquote top through to bottom. And so, I'm gonna put those abilities back. And so, basically, you want to just build up the Subtractive Palette gauge, Pride Gauge, use these heavier casts for really big damage. It does make a noticeable difference. Okay, now I'm gonna try and reset my dummy enmity, because I want to show next system. Oh, it has a dot. Let's talk about Smudge. Smudge is your mobility ability. Yes, it can be used in cities. It dashes you forward, and it gives you a little bit of a sprint effect that you just saw wear off. It is freaking great. It is on a super short cooldown. It is one of my favorite abilities in general. And then in terms of our utility, no, these effects do not stack. I made an error during the media tour. So this is your personal barrier. It's called Temperic Coat. You can press that same ability again, and now it becomes an AoE barrier for the party. It overwrites that first one. No, stop attacking. Stop attacking. I should probably not have my chocobo out. So why I'm trying to get out of combat is out of combat you can cast your canvas abilities and get them all loaded up instantly, which is super nice. I already had this one loaded, so kind of ignore that. What this allows you to do is it gives you off GCD abilities. I personally keep them pretty prominent in my UI, and then you can just let him rip. Boom. And so that was from the Creature Muse. And then when you're in combat, painting takes a little bit longer. And then you can Creature Muse again. And so only do this one finisher, but every 2 creature casts that you do like that, you get a finisher. At level 90, it's Mog of Ages, and then you just let it rip. And it does pretty good damage. So what you're gonna get at a little bit later is an ability called Retribution of the Maydeen, along with the Maw and the Fang. Now, in practical terms, what does that mean to you? Basically nothing. You're still going to be casting your creature canvas like that, and then letting it rip. Then you're gonna be casting your creature canvas and letting it rip whenever it's off cooldown. So that's one thing, is you're gated by the cooldowns of that. You can prep the canvas whenever you want, but you need to wait for it to let it rip. I kind of want to move on to the next talking point, but I kind of want to not lose anyone by going too quick here. And so let it rip. And so this is technically our 4th cast, but because we are not level 96 for Retribution of the Maydeen, it's just going to go to Mog of Ages again. And then just let it rip. Boom. Now we're going to be talking about our next canvas, which is the Striking Muse. What this does, puts a hammer in your hand. Now I'm going to hit in the middle of here. Boom. 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 What you notice from those numbers is crit direct hits. Those are beautiful, and it hits super duper hard. Now, the next ability is Starry Muse, and Starry Muse will do a bit more when you're higher level. Like, you are going to be able to access things like, hey, Star Prism. Rainbow Drip is also going to be coming up soon. We'll talk about that after I go over Starry Muse a bit. So this is your group buff, and so this does a few things. First of all, Subtractive Palette, and so you can go in there and you can do your combo. Gives the damage buff to yourself and your allies, and later on it'll do a few more effects, like it will allow you to do Star Prism. It will also let you cast Rainbow Drip quicker. And so it is really a very powerful opener tool, and I will do a follow-up video where I can actually show it. But that is basically that, and that is going to be basically your opener ability, and it is super good. And that is kind of really it with the Pictomancer. I guess I should also mention, now that I've gone to this point of the video, is Rainbow Drip has an extremely long cooldown. However, that means that it's great for pre-casting in your opener, and unfortunately, because of its recast time, let me show through example. So its recast time is 5 seconds, 5.5 seconds. So we're going to look at Star Sky motif. Its recast time is 4 seconds. I just swift casted. Look at how long that GCD is. So swift cast doesn't really save you from the recast times. It will let you cast it while moving. It's not going to really save you from that. What else can I add here? Fire in red, arrow in green. You can notice that you get a little bit of a weave window. So if you play healers, you're going to be really familiar with that. Mobility ability. See, Hammer was kind of mentioned during one of the live letters as kind of like a bit of a mobility ability. The reality is you're going to really want it for the damage just because it actually hits like a truck. So your actual mobility abilities is probably going to be wisely weaving in Smudge and used in the Holy in White or the Comet in Black abilities. Oh yeah, one thing is you should probably enter Subtractive Palette with a charge because it converts one of your charges into black charge. And for the Pictomancer, that's kind of actually it. There's not too much more that I can show until I have the full kit where I could actually show like a proper opener. But yeah, Pictomancer is actually pretty streamlined when you get down to it. You mostly have that pride gauge system on the core rotation, and then you kind of just weave in your OGCDs. I mean, you would clearly not do it in this order, but we're gonna do it like that. Order is not correct here. And the black abilities do have some weave window too. So you can still move. Like, you're not totally rooted, but the cast times are definitely longer. That's kind of it for Pictomancer. It's actually super straightforward in my opinion, which I think is great. I think a lot of the complexity just is like, hey, how do these two systems interact? And I'd say what really makes it like a more technical caster is just like figuring out where you can cheat out casts, really. Because like this, sure, you could view it as a mobility tool, but it hits so much like damage that like you really want to hold on to. Probably not is my thoughts. But yeah, that's it for this video. Take care everyone, and I hope that this helps some of you get up to speed with Picto.